again, everyone. Welcome back to the next devlog video. Got a few different things to show you today. Hopefully you can understand me through the sinus infection I'm dealing with right now. As always, standard caveat, nothing is final, everything is subject to change. And with that, let's get into it. So, here we are once again in the cave of testing. One cool thing that has been added is a pop-up, so that when you use a chest and get an item, it'll give you a little pop-up that says, hey, here's what you found, as well as how many of them you found. Also implementing the random loot system we talked about last time. You'll see that each of these has a few different properties. Some of them have some extra bonuses, and some of them are completely normal. And each one you get, it'll tell you what you have. We go down to the weapons, we can see, yep, there's everything we got. We got a few unenchanted ones. Let's go get some of those enchanted. First, we're going to need some gold. So another thing that was implemented here was random gold amounts, which very surprisingly, it's not actually built into RPG Maker, so I had to do a little finagling with it to get it to actually work randomly. You'll notice that the amount keeps changing, and it's actually been set so that it increases with each level. So you see there in the menu, everybody's level 1 noobs. So we'll use that a few times. Ding! Everybody's up to level 8 now. And hey, look at that. The amount of gold we're getting is a little more decent. So we'll continue to increase as you level up. So, let's enchant some stuff. So we give her that. Now show, yep, lost the gold, lost the normal capsule barter, and, it didn't work. It doesn't always work, unfortunately. So you'll have to keep that in mind when you do it. So, let's try this again. And, driving capsule barter of enduring, much better. And, so, moving on. We'll use this little tablet here, which brings us the journal. Some feedback we did get in regards to the demo was that sometimes it was a little hard to remember where everything was or all the different quests we had found. So we're implementing a journal that will track all the different missions you'll pick up during the game, of which there will be dozens, so it'll definitely be good to keep track of that. These are just the default ones that came with the script. Haven't built in the actual ones yet. Let's see here. Oh yes, another feature I rather like that's been implemented is the gab window. You can set it so that you walk over spaces and people will make comments. It could be you'd be walking around, and the other thing, it doesn't interrupt the flow of gameplay, which is also very important for something like this. So you can be walking along, and somebody will say something. Could be something completely nonsensical. Could be one of the characters in your party making an idle comment about something. Could be an NPC calling your attention, or it could be, hey, what's that shiny thing over there? So you walk around, you can set all kinds of different parameters. You can set them to show up just once or repeatedly. Oh, hey, he wants to talk to us. Yep, I've seen things, I've seen them with my eyes. I've seen things that are often in disguise, like, well, we won't get into that now. Another more behind-the-scenes thing is when you're making levels, you can specify regions, which do a whole bunch of different things. One of them that we've implemented is NPC movement restriction. You can see here this guy's moving in sort of a horseshoe shape. He's kind of stuck in that little area. He can't go anywhere else. There'll be nothing too significant, but it'll be handy for keeping NPCs from wandering too far away from where they're supposed to be. Like, if you want to have a guy wandering around, he's supposed to be by the clock tower. It doesn't do any good if he's wandered to the complete opposite side of the map. And of course, you can see here for player movement, there's no restrictions at all. Although I could set that if I wanted to. So, another one is books. As I've mentioned a few times, this universe has a lot of lore to it, and so part of that immersiveness and feeling that sort of living history is being able to read up on the history of the world, big things that happened in the past, stories of other people that lived in this world, and whatnot. Been writing a few mini stories to go in, and so, you know, you wander in the library, you know, you can actually read the books. So how's that for immersiveness? So one of the other major gameplay features we wanted to implement was learning skills. So it's not just, hey, you hit level 5, you unlock Fire 2. Instead, I'm going to give that control over to the players. You decide how the characters progress, what skills they unlock. Use that. That gives us some JP. So basically, another resource you'll earn normally by winning fights, occasionally you might get them through other means, is JP or job points. And what those will do is you go to the skills menu, and you'll notice there's an option here called Learn Skills. And this lets you select the skills you can learn. Some skills will have prerequisites. You'll have to learn skill A before you can unlock skill B. But in general, it'll be a fairly straightforward progression. Each character is going to have 2 skill paths that they can develop, with the exception of Alex, who will have 3. So you can develop them in either path based on the needs and the group dynamic you're trying to build. So, we see here special attacks, strong attack against one enemy. It will cost 10 TP to use and 100 JP to unlock. So, do we want to learn it? Here's what we've got for our available pool. So yes, learn it. And we go to the specials, and we see he can use it now. Okay, I think that wraps it up here. Let's go into the other testing environment. We'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. Now, we are in the actual development environment for Unto the Breach. The other stuff I was showing you was in a separate project folder, whatever, for testing purposes, and this is the actual game, or what we've got of it so far. Alright, let's get in here. So, here we are in the field of testing. Looks like it's a little overcast today. Yes, we have working clouds again. For whatever reason, Enterbrain took out the ability to do fogs/clouds that was in XP. They took it out for VX and VXA, but thanks to another handy script, that is back in place. Alright, let's see here. So, let's start with the crafting. So as I mentioned before, there's going to be a bit of a crafting system. So we use that chest, we get a bunch of raw materials. See, we can make some basic things here. Let's make a couple of iron blades, or iron bars, sorry. Let's see, we can craft a blade, make a hilt, and then a handle on top of that. And now we can craft a cat's barger. Alright, and we head over to our inventory, and we see we've got a cat's barger. Obviously, it's a little rudimentary right now, expanded tremendously. With the random affix system, what I plan on doing with crafting, instead of just building the basic items that you can buy anyway, crafting will be used for very specific items that will have very specific properties, and essentially you'll be building named items. Specifically Excalibur, for example. Relatively unique item. Well, unique in as far as however many of them you can make. So you might wind up making replicas of famous historical weapons, or coming up with your own original designs. Well, original for the characters. So, as I mentioned before, everybody will have several different skill paths that they can develop themselves along. By default, Alex doesn't start with all 3. He'll wind up unlocking one of them later on in the game, so hey, it's unlocked. So we can see everybody knows everything to start with, just to kind of give you an idea of what we got going on. But we can go through here, take a quick look at them all. We see Alex gets Leadership, Restoration, and Elemental. Conrad gets Tactical and Protection. Lucy gets Elemental and Druidism. And Allie gets Infiltration and Assassination. I'm still working on assigning all the costs and effects and everything for it. Alright, let's head on here and show you one other thing real quick. Ooh, it's getting rather dark and spooky in here. So, this is another one of the systems that's going to be implemented. Let's grab a lantern so we've got some light. You're underground, obviously there's not going to be a whole lot of light, so you'll have to rely on light sources to actually navigate around. And as we're walking around, you notice the shadows are shifting. It's a fairly realistic manner. So, how's that for adding some immersion? Probably don't want to stay in here too long. We might wind up getting attacked by something. So, let's go back outside. Ah, much better. So, that's a quick rundown of the bulk of what's been going on. Doing a whole lot of database work now, so hopefully in the next one we'll start showing off some of the skills and different items and whatnot. All the weapons and armor. You can see we've got a few different things going on. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Avio Templari.